Hello everyone, it's Tyler and you're watching Behind the Bumpers. This is the First Updates Now show where we dive a bit more into robots and the teams that they have as well too. And for this year, we're looking at 2020 and 2021 Infinite Recharge robots. And today we're going to feature team number 4381, the Twisted Devils out of Richland, Michigan. This team has 2 district chairman's wins under their belt, including one last season, a district event win, and quite an array of different awards, including many safety awards in their 10 seasons they've been around. And I'm joined by Zoe, Matt, Ashlyn, and Ryan, who's going to be controlling the robot. And you're going to see us dive into a few different aspects of the robot, including their intake, index and shooter, swerve, programming, safety programs, and more here on Behind the Bumpers.
Giving you a voice.
Making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
If you're on an FRC or FTC team and you're currently meeting safely in person and have a functional robot, we'd love to have you on our Behind the Bots or Behind the Bumpers segments. Go ahead and reach out to us on any of our social channels, on Discord, or send us an email at admin@firstupdatesnow.com, and let's get your team scheduled to be on First Updates Now. You can also directly support Fun by joining Fun Nation. Click the join button, and just for a few bucks a month, you'll unlock special perks and directly support us so we can keep making great content. So Ashlyn, we're going to start off on this robot here, which is built for the 2021 at-home challenges, and run me through the power cell process here, and starting with the intake.
All right, so with the intake, it's got 6 2-inch Mecanum wheels that will pull the power cell towards the center of the robot, all run with belt and 1 Neo. And there's also backup wheels, which are 2 Omnis, to also help centering with the bot, or with the power cell.
So one of the things on here that we talked about trials over making sure, seeing what works with seeing what doesn't. So what made you decide to have the intake where it just comes into the robot versus maybe like a drop-down intake? Any lessons learned from the 2020 challenge on that?
So during the 2020 challenge, our old robot had a kind of hook over system where the ball would be picked up and pulled over, and most of the times the power cell would get stuck, and we kind of couldn't figure out an issue with that. So we made a entirely new system where it comes in just through the center of the bot, and it has worked pretty well this year.
Very cool. So let's kind of keep going in that power cell journey. I know, Zoe, you're going to be talking about the index, and then coming to the shooter as well. And then we're going to be talking a little bit on some of the sensors that are used for it.
Yep. So this year, our whole philosophy was to keep things simple because last year we had a lot of problems with our robot being too complicated. So our index is just a very simple S shape. It's all run with 2-inch compliant wheels from AnyMark, and then everything is belted together. And it just kind of stores the balls at fixed increments that we use push buttons to indicate. And then we also have a brake beam at the front to detect when a ball comes in. So as soon as the ball comes in, it goes to the first button, and then the second button, the next ball comes in, etc. And then we have our shooter up here, which is 2 Neos on a 2-to-1 gear ratio for a max RPM of about 11,000. And we made our shooter system with a lot of trial and error to get the angle just right so that we can make shots in the inner goal both at around 6 feet and around 20 feet. We also have flywheels on it so that we can keep our momentum up and take shots very quickly.
So one thing they asked in there, so was this robot designed to hold 3 power cells, or did you also design it to hold 5? Or can you talk a little about the decision process on that?
So we designed it to have 3, but we also wanted to make sure that we had the space to do 5 if we do end up going back to in-person competitions.
Sure.
So as it's currently configured, we only have enough sensors to store 3, but if they announce at some point that we are going back in person, it's an easy upgrade to do 5.
So do you think this robot would be fully compatible with the 2020 challenge as well?
The only thing that we would have to add is a climb. We did not design a climb for this robot because it's not necessary with the at-home challenges. So that would be the one thing that we would need to change if we do go to in-person comps.
Sure. So next up on this robot, Ashley, I know we're going to be covering the Swerve, and I'd love to hear about on this because the Swerve, you didn't do Swerve on your 2020 robot. So what made you decide to do it for the at-home challenges? And talk to me about some of the challenges of doing Swerve as well, too.
So this year we decided to do Swerve because we had less to do and we didn't have as much weight, so we could fly around faster than we needed. Last year we didn't have Swerve, obviously. So this year we chose to do it because of the maneuverability of it with all the barrel challenges that we need to swerve around and stuff. So we have that. It uses 8 Neo motors, and it drives around really smooth.
So on your Swerve, as mentioned, you didn't do it on 2020. Was this the first time your team has tried Swerve?
Yes, this is the first time our team has tried Swerve. We have attempted it with other chassis on other robots, but not officially with any competition bots.
So did you draw inspiration from other teams, or is this completely built from scratch? Or tell me a little bit about something like that.
2910.
Sure, Jack in the Bot, right out of Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah, great team and a great way to do that. Any difficulties with the Swerve when you built this? I mean, in order to, it looks like you built a pretty robust machine in a short period of time. Did you run into any challenges with the Swerve drive?
Most of the challenges we did have with Swerve was in programming, just trying to figure out how to get it all to run, and mainly, how it all ran and stuff. We didn't really know that much.
So one of the things, Ryan, I want to talk about on your bot is you mentioned that there's an auto center feature. Of course, you're using the Limelight I see on there as well too. Talk to me a little bit about that and how that's been working out for you.
Yep, so we're just using the basic Limelight and using its configuration software, which has been really helpful. In past years, we tried to develop our own systems using the Kangaroo and the NVIDIA Jetson Nano systems. But this year, we decided to go with the tried and true Limelight. And we're just using it to center ourselves up on the goal to take our shots and then help us know where we are in the field.
And one of the things we'll be talking about in a little bit too is the specific challenges that you're looking at going after. So I think we'll hear a little bit more about that in just a moment as well too. But before we do that, let's bring Matt in here. Matt, I know from your team as well too, we mentioned that your team has won several safety awards on Twisted Devils. And of course, congratulations on a Chairman's Award last year too. Talk to me a little bit about some of your team initiatives that you have.
So as a team, we strive to keep safety as one of our top priorities, and that is why we win a safety award at almost every competition we go to. We also, for FRC, we created when the badge program was in use, we created their first safety badge. Let me open it up and show the camera. We created the first safety badge that all teams would have to follow and use if they want to complete it for the badge program. And then we required all of our students to complete the badge if they had not completed it before every start of the season.
What is something that maybe goes into the safety badge? Can you describe a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Hold on, let me open it back up. You can hold this for a second. Thank you. All right, so for the level 1 safety badge, we have tasks that you have to complete and have signed off by a mentor in order to complete the badge. Some of the tasks are, while working in the team shop, identify the expected and required clothing. Your mentor has to say that, yes, you do wear safety glasses 9 out of 10 times when you are working in the shop without being told. And you have to also be able to explain when you're working on mechanical or electrical, you have to be able to explain how to use tools and how to use them safely in order to work on the robot before you can.
So, Matt, I know another thing we talked about, of course, with your Chairman's Award that your team has now won 2 of them over its time is the expansion that you've had of teams. I know before we were talking that you have quite a few different programs that are helped supported by your team, the Twisted Devils. So tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes, so we have one FRC team, which is the Twisted Devils, and then we have 4 FTC teams underneath us, as well as 8 FLL and 8 FLL junior teams. And we started with 1 FTC, 1 FRC team, and we have grown to 4 FTC teams and 1 FRC. And then we have slowly expanded our FLL and FLL junior programs, and we are currently at 8 teams per, and we have 21 teams total.
Well, 4381 Twisted Devils, thank you so much for taking time to tell us more about your robot. And of course, what you're doing for the at-home skills challenges. And congratulations once again on your success as a team, growing programs in FIRST. Appreciate you taking the time with us. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you want more fun content, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/FirstUpdatesNow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/FirstUpdatesNow and check out Fun FTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. You can also directly support Fun by joining Fun Nation. Click the join button, and just for a few bucks a month, you'll unlock special perks and directly support us so we can keep making great content.